So once you are in a command prompt, the first thing you need to verify whether node has been installed or not. Node -v. Okay. So it has node has been installed. Okay. One more thing is npm node package manager. It will get installed automatically when you install Node.js. But to verify that also we are just saying node package manager. It is something like a unzip utility, unzipping. Okay. So that is also installed. So this will get installed when you install Node.js. So now we'll create a application. Now we'll create a application. Okay. So that's a command npx Sidak app. Okay. So for the first, it will take time. So we require internet connection. Okay. Yeah, it's done because already I have a project. So all the necessary libraries are already getting from the local system, local drive is already there. That's fine. If you're doing it for the first time, it will take time. Hmm? Sorry? Node package execute. Node package execute. It's a library. It's a command for creating the, what is that, React application. Huh? It's same only. NPM is one more thing. NPX is another package. It's a part of this only. What is that? Node. Yeah. It's a library for creating a NPX is a library for creating a new React.js application. NPX. So everything is done from the command prompt only. Installation, creating a new file, everything is done from the command prompt. So this is the first step you need to do, like this only. So once it is installed, we need to move to that particular directory. Yeah, so just look here. Yes. So once that is done, it's telling what you need to do. Okay, success created this particular application. So you can run several commands, npm start, npm build, npm test, all those things. So we suggest that you begin by doing this step. Okay, cd sidak app means I need to go to this directory, cd sidak app. So I'm in that directory. Now I'm just giving npm start. We need to give npm start. So this is starting the server, plus it will open the home page, the index.html of the application automatically. So the port number of React.js is 3000. So automatically it is opening the home page of Sidak app. Okay, the project we created. Yeah. So just look here. I did src app.js and save to reload. Okay. So what is this now? Now we have created a project successfully. Now you need to open this project. So I'll open VS Code. I'll open VS Code. So just look here. This is still, my server is still running. So if you want to stop the server, you have to press Control C. Control C. So it will stop the server. So now, as usual, If you refresh, you'll get a 404. Again, you have to start the server. So now this will automatically reload. Yeah. So I'll open a folder, file. You have the option from here also or here. So D drive, React.js. Yeah. So here we have the first one, CDAC app. So just look here. Your project has been created successfully. Your project has been created successfully, and you need to understand the structure of the React.js application. That is very much important. We never created any pages, but you are getting an output. Is it not? So that is because, just look here. Here also we have this SRC. Here we have SRC source, and here also we have public. And this public consists of index.html. So whatever you see here now, that is coming from which one? Index. Is coming from index. So if I open index, there is nothing, people. You can just look here. Title. Where is the title? Yeah, here. React app is the title. Okay. So I can change here. For example, CDAC. So when you just do that, you can just say, na, the title is changed to CDAC. But after that, if you see here, the body, there is nothing. Just look here, people. The body, there is nothing. Just we have one div with the name id equals root. There is nothing, but still we are getting an image. From where we are getting this? From app.js. Index.html will always show you the content of app. What is app.js? It is the root component. It is the root component of React.js. It is the root component of the React.js. So just look here, people. Div id equals root. Okay, this one. So this HTML file is a template. If you open this directly, you will see a empty page. Okay. So how the contents of this is displayed? Because this index.html file has a business file called as index.js. That is in SRC. This index.html file has a business file called as, means the code file. HTML will only display, right? The code file of that is .js. So just look here, people. Here. What is this app? App is the name of the component. App is the name of component. So here we have specified that I want app component to be displayed where? In index.html. In the index.html. So just look here. React.dom.create root. Document.get element by id. Root means it is getting this id. It is getting this id root. And to that we are rendering which one? App component. We are rendering app component. Where is app? Here. App.js. Just look here. There are two files. One is app.js and that is app.css. Look here. App.js. So here app.cs is there, css is there, and app.js. Okay. So here also for index.js, we have index.css. So just go to app.js and I'll just try to modify it, people. Okay. So here you can just look here. I'll just delete these things. I'll keep only image. This much I'll delete. All the content is removed. Okay. So now I have only logo. Okay. And here I'll just type 1H1, for example. Welcome to SIDAC. It's coming here. Now I'll go to the CSS file of that. Now just look, I'm modifying in which app.js. But whatever you see here, it is what? Index. Means app.js is a root component, and that is what rendered in the index.html always. And app.js is the only component it is rendered. Now I'll go to CSS file, app.css file here. So just look here, app logo. The height of that is 40v min. So I'll just change it to 10. I'll just change it to 10. Got it? Then app header, min height is there. That also I'll change it to 10. Got it? Then flex direction column, I'll comment that. What's happening? I'm creating a header. I just modified that. I'm just creating a header. So my logo is that SIDAC. Got it? So now app.css is there and app.js. App.js is there. Okay. This is the only component which will be rendered in your browser. So now I'll create my own components. Okay. So I'll create first of all, I'll create a new folder called as components, because app.js is what actually the root component. Now we'll create a child component. So for that, I'll create a new folder. I'll place the cursor in src and I'll just create this new folder and give the name as components. A folder like we did the package today morning. Similarly, under components, I'll create a new file. You have the option here, new file, and give the file name as main.js. Main.js. Okay. So this main.js is a child component. Like that, you can create n number of components. Like this, we can create n number of components. Okay. So I have installed some plugins for creating a components. So VS Code is actually really a beautiful editor. There are lots of help for the programmers. Only for Java, it's not good. Who is that? I just forgot that. Just a minute. So just look here, people. First of all, you need to import. Here also, okay, main. Now I'm just trying to display that. So for that reason, I'll create a class component. Like when you want to implement dynamic activity, then you should go for which component? Functional component. Remember. Okay. For this also, you can implement functional component. So here, just to make you understand, okay, import React. Okay. React from React. So next, we can create a class main. Okay, this file name and the class name should be same. You can just look here main extends component, and while using Eclipse and these editors, now please use the feature of Eclipse. Do not go on typing What I'm trying to tell you, use this control space and use the, what is this? Autocomplete feature. Type the first two letters and select from there. That is why you are using editor. Otherwise, you could have used what? Notepad only, na? So please use the features of this. So class main extends component. Okay, so this is the thing. So just look here, it is giving suggestions. What do you want next? Constructor, like that. So before that, you need to add the render. Okay, so class components will have a render function. Will have a render function. Then within that you have a return. So just look at return, how it works. So class main extends component return. So within that you need to type your JSX code. Within the return you have to type JSX code. This. So that's why I just look here. After typing this, I'll come here and just press enter. So within this I can have H1s, paragraphs, images, so many things I'll just put here. So here I'll just put some static test. Okay, main component training on React.js and all those things. So that's all. So next is, in case this, if you want to use this component in app.js, you need to add this statement. Remember this, export default main. Otherwise, it's not available to other components. Okay, we cannot use it. So just add this, export default main. So just look at what you're adding. And one more thing, whatever you want to put, that should be within a div tag. Okay. In return, now whatever you want to add, that should be within div tag. ये 5 बजे क्यों सो रहा है? Div tag. Okay. So H1 paragraphs, you should be having, remember in return now, there should be a root element and there should be always div. There should be always div. In return, first thing what you have to put is div. After that you add anything. And you need to add this statement. Then only it is available to other components. So I just done that. Just look, export default main. But if I say in the browser, I'm not getting anything. I'm not getting anything. Because whatever you are seeing here, that is nothing but what? App.js. So you need to render that in the app.js. You need to render that in the app.js. So how is it that? Yes. So if you're aware of the HTML5 tags, there is something like section, header, footer, like that. Okay. So here I'll just go to now app.js. Here what I have? Header. Here I have header. So after header, I'll create a section. I'll create a section. So just look here. Section class name equals main. This is for styling. Here I'm just adding the tag of the what? Name of the component we just now created. That is nothing but main. I created a main.js file and added some content. And if I want to display that, I'm creating one section or a div and I'm just rendering the main component. I'm just rendering the main component here. So if you give this, then only it will come in app.js 1412. Yeah. No, it should come. Yeah, 1 minute. So because we copied, na? So we just go on typing here. Yeah, it will import. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We copied from there. So if you're typing manually, automatically it will import the component. Okay. So इसके नीचे क्या आ रहा है? Main component. So for example, now if I want to style it, I will create a CSS file of that. I'll create a CSS. So I'll go to SRC. I'll go to SRC and I'll create a CSS. CSS should be in public. Okay, I'm gonna- Okay, we'll do that later. We'll finish this first. What is that? Or we can give, I suppose. I think it's, yeah. And SRC, I'll just apply the one more folder, new folder. Just a minute. New folder. We'll name it as CSS. Another new file. That's nothing but main dot CSS. Main dot CSS. Okay. So in the app.js, this is the no, yeah, we have to give in. Sorry, that's what I was checking because we are implementing that in which one? App.js. So we have to modify which one? App.css. We have to modify app.css. Okay, I think it's already the main. Yeah, I'll copy it for footer also, which we'll be doing next. Now just understand, people. Any components you create, no need of create. We can do that, but you have to go to the main component, is it not? We have already have a CSS file for the this. So you just go there and I'm just pasting it. The CSS for the main background color, minimum height, display, all those things. So just check the output now. Just check the output. So the height, all those things we are given that. So what we did? What is this main? That's nothing but here, this one. Okay. So now we'll see the footer. So we are getting this output. Hmm? Now we'll create a footer. So I'll go to components, create a new file, footer.js. So this we will make a functional component. This will make a functional component. So this also will have function footer. Function footer. So this will not have a render. Directly we are using return. Directly we are using return. Only in the class component, na? It will be like this. Class main extends component. You have to import the packages, then render, return like this. But when you are creating a functional component, just function footer and directly the return statement. Okay. And here also we require this export. We can also add it in there itself. So this is always mandatory. It's always mandatory. But you can just see here. Now also if you see the output, you're not getting a footer. What do you need to do? You need to render this in app.js. So just go here. So I'll create a footer. Okay. So HTML5 has a predefined tag called as footer. I'll see the CSS name. What again? Okay, footer itself. Class is also footer. So here I need to render which one? The footer. the footer component. People just look here. Yeah. So this is already imported here, and I'm just rendering the footer component. So this is the syntax for the comments. Okay. So we render footer component. Footer component. If you want, you can reduce the size and all those things. We can do that. Yes. So what is this? In app.js, we have rendered the header, main component, and footer component. So now we can provide a link. We can provide a link, and that this content can be kept on changing. So this part now will be always fixed. This part will be always fixed. This part will be always fixed. So this keeps on changing. So here we have to provide what? Nav bar now. So like this. Okay. So this is how we can work with the React.js. In the meantime, what is that I'm trying to tell here is you need to understand the project structure. So what do you see here? The content of index.html. So this has a business logic called as index.js. Index.js. Then if you just see here, we are injecting what? Rendering what? App. So what is the app? It's a root component. App is the root component. And it has a CSS file also. Now we created the child components under component folder, main and footer. Okay. And we added something, and that we are rendering it in the app.js. Okay. So what we have done, we have just written the HTML, but we have not written the React.js code still. I'm talking about JSX. I'm talking about JSX. So here, yeah, so we will be having two files. One is .js and there is CSS. So what does .js consist of? The business logic as well as the template. The business logic as well as the template. Template in the sense UI, user interface. So actually in Angular, it is a separate file. Here it is in a single file only. Which one? The business code and the user interface. Business code and the user interface. Okay. So actually, there is one plugin for that, which you need to install. Okay, just a minute, people. Yeah, so listen here. Now, writing the JSX code. Writing the JSX code. Okay. So now just look here. As I told you, there will be business logic and the UI template. Business logic and the UI. So we're just creating one class, for example. It can be a class or a function, anything. So we're defining a properties. We're defining a properties like in a Java class. What do we do? Similarly, here also we're defining properties and we call it as a state. We call it as a state. That properties is the int a is equal to 10, string first name, float salary, right? That we are defining in the form of state. A is equal to hello world and B is equal to 10. It is same as this one. Okay. Then method for updating the state. Method for updating the state. Name of the method is my method and we are writing arrow functions here. We are writing arrow function. Okay. So now this dot set state is a method which allows you to change the state in a React class component. So I'm trying to change the value to training on React.js and this value to 200. So what is this? It's a JSX code. So this is purely what? Java script. It is equivalent to you declaring two variables in Java and writing a method there to trying to change the value of the two variables. Okay. So that is in the class. In the render, what is this? This is the UI. This is the UI, user interface. Means the HTML stuff. So just look here. And it's a combination of JSX. Not only UI means JSX. This is purely what? JavaScript. This is JSX. Okay. So state refers to display the value of the variable after changing. So how it will change? Based on a button click. This will change based on a button click. Okay. This will change based on a button click. So I can also start the server from the terminal directly here. That is also possible. So here, just look here. This is the initial value. The initial value is what? Hello world and 10. So when you click on this button, what happens? It will call that event, a method, my method. And the value is changing to 200. This is what called as dynamic. Okay. And just look here. The whole page is there. If it is a JSP means the whole page will send to the server. But only this part is now updated. And that is what called as single page applications. Will update only the section without reloading the whole page. Okay, so everything, this is a small thing. So just imagine about that. Whatever happens in the Instagram or Facebook, automatically will come. No, that's what. So this dot method. So just look here. Initially we are displaying. Initially we are directly displaying using what? JSX. So wherever you find these flower brackets, wherever you find the flower brackets within HTML, now what is it? It's a JSX. This dot state dot A. So state refers to here, AB, like that. B. Okay, so on click, the little syntax is different. On click, we are calling this dot my method. Where is it? The my method, what we are created. Okay. Similarly, yeah. So there will be two files, CSS file and JS file. JS file will have a combination of HTML and JSX. So basically go for the functional components. Why? Because if you have free time, just look into React hooks. Just look into a small video on React hooks. Okay, there are a number of hooks, but you look into very 2 or 3 hooks that is enough. Use state. Use state is basically used to manage your state, the state management, use state. Okay. So I'll just show you one example how we have done that. Yeah, just look here, people. This is done with the help of React JS. This is my training project only. What I normally show. Okay. So home, register, login, products. Okay. It has to come from the database. There is no database as of now. That's why it's showing like this. About us. This is with the help of CSS and all those things we have done. So I'll just show you this login. I'll just show you the login component. For example, there is a form, HTML form. This today we are done in which one? JSP or HTML. So how it is done in React? JS. You can just see, here also is a footer, fixed footer. People just look here. Why it is called a single page application? We have a header, navbar, the main content, and the footer. So when I go to the various pages, this and all those things remain fixed. Only this particular part is trying to change. Just look here. Only updating the parts of a page. It is called as single page application. So I'll just go to this login.js. Arrow function. Is nothing but a arrow function component. Arrow functional component. Arrow functional component. Okay. What is the name of the function? Login. What is the name of the component? Login. Login.js. So just look here. This is nothing but what? Declaring variable. Declaring properties using use state. As I told you, use state is a hook which is used to manage your state. Okay. And all those things can be, you not type. There are some shortcuts, plugins for that. Okay. It'll automatically give that. What is handle login? It's a method. What is this? Object. We get it? Object with the name, dealer, email and password. Today also we created, na? Which object we created? User object. Similarly. So this is the try block. Of course, for the first time you'll find it a little bit complicated, but actually once you use it, it will be easy. Yeah. The first part, now in the class, I'm into the first part. What do you write? The business code. Below in the written, we write HTML or JSX. Okay, just look here. Div, input type, email, password. This is how the form is generated. When you click on that login, you can just see a on click handle login. So where is handle login? It's a method here. So it will interact with the service class. It will interact with the service class. What is service class, people? Where we are using Axios. Where you are using Axios. Authentication service. Okay. Axios. Axios is a component which will connect with the Spring Boot. Axios is the component which will connect with the Spring Boot. In Spring Boot, we are creating REST applications. In the Spring Boot, we are creating REST application, and that REST API is consumed there in the React.js. Okay, you know REST, the JSON format. Okay, that we are consuming and we are displaying it here. So here you can just look here. What is this URL? It's a Spring Boot applications REST API's URL or endpoint. So this we are trying to connect. Just look here. Register, login, like that. So here also images also we can put under images under public. Then we are creating component service and style. Okay, here only we are putting about.css. Under SRC only we are putting this. For the separate components, we can also have that. And that has to be imported. Now just look at homepage.css. So you need to import that for the homepage component. So homepage here is here. Just look here. I need to import like this. So we are creating individual components and we are rendering that in the app.js. App.js. So was on file. If you want to work with this, please install this. Just go to extension and install the plugin. This one, okay. Just make a note of this. Just install this extension. The people who are really interested to work in React.js, just install this extension. ES7 React Redux React Native Snippets. Okay. So there are various shortcuts for that. I'll just show you a few things. Yeah, this is the one. Create a function. Uh, Arrow functional, RAFC, right? Yeah, correct. पता है? Just look here, people. So I'll just create a new component. So normally what we do, I'll just go to components folder. We'll create a new component. Okay. So I'll give the file name as demo.js. So RAFC, just look here, RAFC. This is coming because of that plugin I was telling. Now you need to install it. RAFC and press enter. So my template is created. My template is created. So what type of component is this one? Arrow functional component. It's an arrow functional component. Okay. So you need to just type RAFC. RAFC. So here I'll just write a code here. That's the thing. So the JavaScript I'll be writing here above, and the JSX I'll be writing in 2. और use state के लिए क्या है shortcut? One more component you need to install. That's nothing but React hooks का एक component है. Yeah, this one, React hook snippets. These two extension you install. Those are. So with this we can just look at, yeah, USH, use effect. Yeah, one more, these two things you ought to understand, everyone. Use state and use effect. Any component you create, these two hooks you need to understand. One is for event management, another is for state management. So USH, for example, here I'll type USH. Yeah. Here. Okay, just look at people. In the class, I need to declare a variable now. USH. Okay. For example, EMP ID. What is this? It's a setup method. EMP ID. This is a setup method for this variable. Correct? One variable I declare. Again, USH. So name. Suddenly is coming. Just look here. Set name. The setup method for that. So like that. USH. Hmm? Salary. For this, it is automatically coming. Just look here. Set salary. So this is how we are defining the state. This is how we are defining the state. Like that. Okay. So if you use VS Code efficiently with the help of plugins, now we can easily manage this. So you can, to begin with, you can look with the videos, man. React.js 1 videos, project videos, 1 hour, 1.5 hour, it will be there. If you want to work with everyone, na, of course, we need to do a project, right? What I would suggest is project, not the normal tutorials. There will be training videos with the project, for example. So look into that videos. 1.5 hour, 2 hours का होगा. Then you can easily understand what is use effect, then use state, then different types of components, etc. So this is the front end. In the back end, I require the Spring Boot project. So my two servers will be running. Two servers will be running. One is Tomcat of Spring Boot, and there is Node.js server of React.js. So now they will try to fetch the data. So like that. And do the things. So all login, registration, everything we are writing a code in. Yes. So believe me, when you come to Spring Boot, you'll find it very much easy because no inheritance, no abstract classes, no interfaces, nothing. Plain Pojo class. Only thing is number of files will be more. I mean to say controller, model, service. Now one more service class will come. Service, then repository. And we are not writing all this code. What we write for what? JDBC. Creating a connection, loading a driver, nothing. Just you need to define a JPA. It will automatically have the functionality of inserting the record, deleting the record. You just need to call that method. That's all. You are not writing code for JDBC operations. You are not writing any code. Not a single line of code. Only you have to define a class and extend one interface and call the method like save, delete, get by ID like that. That is the beauty of Spring Boot JPA. So you're not writing these 10 lines of code what you wrote for JDBC. Okay, so if you're really interested, Spring Boot is a very good one actually. So only thing is the what is that? The transformation from the difficult programming level to the easier programming level. That's what Spring. Now what is Spring, people? What do you mean by understand by Spring? What does it refers? What do you find in the pen that Spring technique? Then he'll jump now. When Spring when it reacts, will jump. We'll go to the another city. The Spring refers to speed. Spring is speed. Okay. You know that. This is the example of JDBC. Yeah, we'll meet on Tuesday. Yeah. हाँ मैं तो उसको भेजूंगा. ओके कौन है? हाँ ये तुम लोगों का दूसरा प्रोजेक्ट नहीं है, दूसरा ग्रुप नहीं है कैसे? डोंट पुट इन दैट ग्रुप. योर वो ग्रुप में वो लोग है ना, स्टूडेंट का पीपल है. पर्सनली हम ले लेते हैं. हाँ हाँ उसमें जाओ. ओके मैंने देखा. रिकॉर्डिंग ऑन है. नो नो वो मैं अभी